Okay, so it is started. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing great, and you had a wonderful evening so far. So, is it super dark when you see here, or what? Let me just change something. Okay, I think that now it is better, right? I would like to have kind of dim environment to work. You can see the screen, I guess. And I quickly go through what we started learning in the previous week together. If you can hear me and you can see the screen clearly, please type 1 again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Awesome. You remember that we talked about the interactive Python and we said we can do things in interactive Python. And a kind of browser-based version of what we deal with is Notebook. It's a kind of newer environment. And we said in IPython, we use some magic commands. And when I explain these things, between the review, mostly I at least cover 2 questions to questions out of 3 questions that we have for the quiz. So we have magic commands, right? And what is the thing that the magic command starts with? Can you please type? Magic commands start with what sign? Lovely, Harlan. Excellent. They start with percent, but we have percent and percent. What are the differences between these two? Anybody can tell? You can pick the mic and talk if it is easier for you. Okay, so let's give you time if you want to type. But we talked that we are going to type all these things using muscle memory to remember how to work with the text. And the thing is, we said if we have 1 question mark, it shows the docstring, and if we use double question marks, it shows the code behind it. But there is a chance that we do not see the code, and the reason for that is those kind of function methods are not written in Python, so they could be written in C, C++, or in other languages, right? And the thing is, the whole idea of using this textbook and environment is to find out the answers, to be a good researcher, not to just memorize the things. And these are the examples, like for len, they are the same, and because len is not implemented by Python. And what do we call this one, guys? Anyone can remember? What do we call this? Docstring, that's Algor. It's perfect. And yeah, they are docstrings. And then we started saying that this is exactly what I said by C or any other languages. And we started using something close to IntelliSense that we have in IDEs. And if you type something and press tab, it tries to guess the rest of the things. And when we have just only one possible, it's going to complete it. For instance, if you say L for a list and .c, so you have copy, you have count, you have clear. But if you say COU, it's going to just complete it by saying count. Does that make sense? So I was wondering if we are required to join a group in this course. I missed 2 weeks of class. So Donald, how about this? Because now it is time for the lecture. The best is to talk for these kind of concerns before or after labs. So please come to tomorrow's lab, and we are gonna discuss for these kind of things. No worries. If I just type underscore and press tab, it shows those kind of, it technically filters the possible commands that they are categorized as private or special methods. So if you want to access them, you just type whatever the object is, dot underscore or underscore underscore, and it's going to filter showing you just those special or private methods. We do not have technically very much concept of private the way that we have in C#, Java, and so on, but it tries to mimic that environment. So it's not as serious as those kind of. You can just use that for the whatchamacallit, for the libraries. And you remember that I said whenever we see asterisk and warning, for example, or error or whatever, and you say question mark, means, hey, go and search for those commands that they start with anything or even null, but they ended with warning. What if you want to see something that is part of, you are not sure if it is at the beginning or at the end or what? So you want to search for something that contains warning, contains error, contains find or something. So you're going to say asterisk in the word that you're searching, and then asterisk. So this is an example that we found yesterday. By saying that, we started working with Control A. Well, go to the beginning of the line, commands line, Control E, and Control B, go backward, go forward in the same line. Also, we said D for deleting, K to cut everything from the cursor point all the way to the end, U from the cursor point all the way to the beginning, and then Y for pasting, and T for transposing to consecutive characters. And we said that everything that we do is inside SQLite database, and that is why you can simply go from this command to the previous one by pressing Control P, and to the next command by pressing Control N. And you can do the same thing with arrow keys. But for many people, for those that they are into typing code, the best is to using shortcuts instead of moving your hand to the sides. And Control R is for searching whatever you want. For instance, imagine that you have used find, and you want to see the commands that contain find in them. So if you type Control R and find, and then it's going to just go, and if you press Control R several times, it's going to iterate over all the commands that contain find in them, right? And after that, we used these are the last thing that we use, like Control L for clear. We can type CLS2, C for canceling or interrupting, and Control D to exit. So you can type quit or exit, but this one nicely asks, do you want to actually exit or not? We talked about the paste and cpaste. These two can be useful whenever you copy from a book or another text. So what about having these kind of extra dots? So paste is going to get rid of it, and cpaste, it's going to be a kind of interactive pasting. So line by line, you can copy the content. And we did it in the class. So you can watch the video if you have any concern for them, and run, if you want to run a file which is already saved in the current folder that you are, or even you can just simply pass the direction like C:\test and so on, and just say, hey, go there and run my file. We said if you use, guys, this is important. Should I emphasize more that where you are going to see, if you use 1%, It means that it's a kind of line, one line magic command. And if you use double, it means that it's going to take care of a block of code. So if it is time it, it's going to take care of what? Just one line. As you see here, we have just one line, and it's going to give you the result of that for you. If it is clear for you, everybody knows that 1% means that for one line. Please type 2 this time. Merci. Anand William. Akash. Safar Sabrina. Hi Parsa. Hence. Ivan. Nikita. Zoe, Eric. Okay, Chloe. Okay, bravo. And if we use something like %, it says that for multi, you can just simply see, and this is that important that you can see it exactly mentioned it several times in different paragraphs. So for multi-line statements, adding a second % sign will turn this into a cell magic, not line magic, that can handle multiple lines of input. So this magic and is magic, this one tells a kind of complete story of what magic is. And is magic is a kind of brief, just showing you the commands that you can access using magic. You remember, it's not necessary to have always, for instance, to say math.sign to, and then you use again the same equation, that's the same expression, to use the sign of to gradient. You can simply say, hey, how about accessing the out number 2? And we can say print in, we can say print in mentioning the index. For instance, if I say index 2, it's going to bring us this. And you can similarly use out for that. So the question for you is, what if I say print __? What's the meaning of that? If anybody can contribute. So Matthew, what is that placeholder doing? If I say print __? Lovely, but is it going to print the best answer is by Al Gore this time. So print the second last output. Bravo, Al Gore. And okay, let me ask you one thing. Anand, bravo. Yeah, you're right too. Let me ask you one thing. So is it possible that I use print ____ means 4 underscores? True, false? Okay, why not? So the maximum number that we can use is 3. Perfect. Thank you very much. That's lovely, guys. Even I could hardly remember. It shows that you really paid attention and you studied. Good job. A+ for the whole participants. Thank you, Al Gore. So far, Harlan 1 bonus and Al Gore the 2nd. I would be thankful if Harlan and Al Gore, please tell me your section number, so it's going to ease the job for me to find your good names in the list. Thank you. Section B means, okay, let's ease the job. Means 3 to A. So is it in the morning or what? Or just Tuesday? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Look at this one. These are the numbers that I can easily find you. For instance, 15, 791. or something like this. Okay. Oh, okay. Actually, Matthew, for your explanation and for helping me and helping the others, you have one bonus as well. So can you please tell me your own section 2? Okay, so 15971. 15971. Don't worry, I got it. Al Gore is 8 in the morning, 8 a.m. So I'm gonna find 8 a.m. So thank you, guys. Let's say what's the meaning of suppressing the output? Anybody can help? Can tell me what's the meaning of suppressing the output? Lovely. Anand, can you please help me about your section as well? 92. And let's see the others. Mikita, I remember you should be in the 3 p.m. In that class, if I'm not mistaken. And Luis, bravo. Awesome. So can you please, Ines, debugging or clean output? Enes, you correctly answered another question, not this one. Luis is a bonus. And can you please, Mikita, tell me the last preventing the normal output of a statement? Eric, that is very concise and yeah. But thank you, Enes. You always participate actively in the class. I do appreciate it. So the Eric, those friends that I mentioned, I would be thankful if you just say your group number as well. Mikita, Anand, Luis, and Eric. And if it is Luis 92, thank you, Luis. Merci. Okay. So Luis, Eric, 93, and Eric 92. Okay, so awesome, bravo. Let me see the number of participants, 94. So hopefully you didn't have any difficulty in finding the class and link. So based on the number of participants, the history, if you type -n, it's going to show you the whole history of the commands that you have entered. But if you say 1-4, it's going to just show you the first 4 commands that you have used. The index starts from 1. Make it a little bit smaller. You shall much more control. Yeah, we talked about this one, that if you use exclamation mark, it's going to mimic the what do we call it? The operating system command prompt. And if you want kind of more permanent and a more real form of accessing what you have in command prompt, what is the character that you use? You remember? For instance, if I want to say cd and change the directory, if I use exclamation mark, William, can you please tell me which group are you in? Section C. I mean, the last thing, is it 93? Okay, so I think that it should be 93. The same as Mikita. Three points. 3 points. I can't understand what is the meaning of 3 points. These are bonus points. So if you, well, I have received one question. These are bonus marks, and whenever you answer and participate, as you see, I just value your participation. Sometimes even I give bonus marks to the answers that are not 100% correct as well, just to appreciate your activities. And each normal bonus bonus mark is 0.25. We have people that in one session they get 4, 5, sometimes even 8 bonus marks. That is equal to 2% directly to their final grade. And guys, the good thing about the bright space environment is now we have control to say this mark is bonus, so you're not gonna freak out at saying that, hey, Reza White decreased my final mark. The good thing, it knows that bonus mark is on top of your final mark. It's not, it's, for instance, it's going to be 100 out of 110. It's on top of the mark. So the good thing is the representation is easier and better. Anyway, so people answering very quickly, but give us chance to think. Man, you are one of the people that is famous in getting lots of bonus marks. That's one thing. And you already have a lot. But don't worry. Don't worry if in some of the cases, I'm going to ask that please send direct message, private message, so people have more time. Thanks for reminding that, Enes. By saying that, well, we are almost get to, so it says in this, if you'd like to change working directly in a more enduring way, you can use %cd, as you said. And yeah, as long as you enjoy, that's fine. Yeah, okay. So what is the default? I've forgotten, guys. We have 3 modes. First thing I want to ask you, what is the command that we use to show the whatchamacallit, the debug format, the debug mode? And what are the 3 modes that we have in debugging? Can anybody explain those? I'm lazy. Oh, that is, yes. Maharishi, can you please tell me your code? Maharshi. I mean, your group section. 91. Okay, bravo. Teacher, I actually have a question. All of these slides have a lot of Mac OS commands starting with some, but in reality, if you installed IPython directly on your terminal, you don't need those. You are absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's the problem that we, it just wants to tell that this is a kind of command prompt, that kind of things. Start from there. If it is relevant to the topic, please, by all means. And that's the standard way. Thank you, William.
Yeah. So I thought Xmode
Yes,
was
please.
to give us information back.
And
yeah,
I
can you hear
didn't
me?
restrict anyone's not to be able to open their mic.
Can you hear me?
I can't
Professor?
hear you. Can you wait a second? Am I the only person who cannot hear? Wait a second, then. I'm sorry, my apologies. Wait a second.
No, sure.
Speaker. What? Can you please repeat again, William?
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear now.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
apologies. Yes, you were saying?
Yeah. No, I thought X mode was for exceptions that it printed back information about the exceptions, and that debug and PDB were for debugging.
That's the complete answer. And I made a kind of mistake. I wanted to say if you see and you clearly answered that, yeah. So William, and what is
Okay.
your section 93? Thank you, William. Thank you
No
very much.
worries. Thank you.
If you see any mistake in, if there's any mistake in your code, so by default, as I ask, it's going to show the context and what are the other two forms that we have. One of the friends said that verbose, and we have the, let me just see if anybody said it before. Maharshi said that, and Maharshi is already, yeah, it's already had the bonus point. So if you simply see here, it says that we have three forms whenever we want to handle the exception. One of them is plain, and the other one is context, the default one, and verbose. And the other thing is, if you want to debug and go through the, sometimes it mentioned that it's not enough just to show the problem. You want to trace and see, okay, what is the value of this parameter? And you go to the color, you go up, you go down in the stack of the methods that we have. And in that case, you're going to use, as our friend mentioned above, you're going to use Python dbpdb, right? A new message. Yes, Matthew. Thank you very much. Thank you, Peter. Yes, whenever I connect my microphone, it just destroys all the setting. It goes to, yeah, microphone speaker that I don't know if I have any microphone speaker. Okay, so we already covered that. And the last question that I have for you is it possible to change the mode of the debug and to make it on whenever you see the exception? And if so, what is the command for that? Prakash. Shader, you should be 92, I guess. Prakash, what is your section number, please? Lovely, William, bravo. Raul. Raul, pretty close. You said whenever we want to see everything, but what I'm saying is in this line, you see here, we say turn the debugger on. Turn the debugger on, right? And then it's going to help us whenever you see any error, you can just simply go up and down. You remember that we could have list, we could have help, or just press H. You remember that we played around by saying that print, for instance, the variable B, A, and so on. This is something that we practiced. And after that, we said we have time it. This is another quiz, another important question. What is the difference between time and time it? Anybody can guess? Prakash, what was your section number? You already have 2 bonus marks, so single versus Peter. Peter, what is your section number as well, please. Okay. Section A. By section A means early in the morning. Okay, I'm gonna find. We have just only one Peter. That's the good thing. Divine time shows the processing time. CRN number is the section. Okay, Prakash 93. Thank you. Don't worry, that's my homework. I'm gonna find the rest. Just please pay attention that time is something like a wall clock, that whenever you start a process and it takes how many seconds, or maybe milliseconds, microsecond or something, it starts and it goes all the way to the end, and whenever it's done. But the problem is, what if the process contains lots of garbage collecting and other processes that are not the main part of the process? So it's not a wise kind of an intelligent command, we can say. Yeah, correct. Right. So let me just repeat it. Whenever we use time, it's a simple wall clock, but time it is going to do some intelligent kind of saying that, okay, imagine that you want to do something for 1 million times. Why should it bother? I just take 1,000 examples and I multiply it by 1,000 later. You know what I'm saying? So, and apart from it, it doesn't engage itself into some other garbage collecting or these kind of things. So it is going to be some a statistical analysis behind the scene that reduce the calculation time. But that's one question. So I actually read the source code. It just turns off the GC, garbage collection, and it times long. It's Anand. That's perfect answer. You went, Anand. You went above and beyond what I expected. So the amount of time it is constant. It doesn't optimize it doesn't optimize the code. It optimizes the calculation of the, you know what I'm saying? So what it does at itself, not doing anything at the code side. The responsibility is finding that how long it takes, and no suggestion, right? Okay, but this is now a next question. So Matthew said, time it disables garbage collection, runs the statement multiple times. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So now it's the major question. Can we say, because of the intelligence that we have in time it always provide better answers? Okay, Prakash says no. Who else? Relatively. No, the question has kind of, I said always give the best answer. Al Gore said no. Eric. I'm not familiar with what you said, Peter. So I would be thankful if tomorrow you explain it, or I'm going to just write it, what you said, and just go through it. The answer that I have is this. For some activities like sorting, right? If you sort a list, a random list once, it is already sorted. So the time that you want to spend second time to sort an already sorted list is not going to be equal to the we are going to see, for instance, it takes, and I've provided some samples for you. It takes, for instance, 30 microsecond for sorting, but the next time it's going to take 8. So technically it's just 25% or even less than the original time that you spent for sorting something, right? So when we are using person time, it's to, for example, the first occurrence will be accurate, but the perfect algor, yes. And like the longer you run something resource heavy on your processor, the lower performance output you will get with the temperature increase and lowered frequencies. Wow, that's a very nice observation. Not a software, as more of a hardware constraint. That's a very nice observation. I like it. We mostly, oh, Peter, what we use in data structure is concept of big O. It's kind of very much an abstract concept, right? We don't engage into the actual physical computers. What we deal here is the actual time of one computer. But what you say is even one level higher, is that, okay, let's just consider that, for instance, that CPU specifically, like AMD, has some difficulties in terms of heat when we have heavy processes. In this book, at least, I know that they do not consider that one, but that's a very nice observation. Okay, guys, if you could follow everything so far, please type 1 so we can move on. Lovely, Eric. Bravo. Excellent. Okay, so this is something that if you see, if I can just bring it, oh, this is the next one. This is something that I have provided, and you see, unfortunately, it's disconnected, but you can see the result. Can you please, I'm going to copy this one in the chat box. Can you copy this one into your both environments I tested for you? So you see that here we have it. Oh, this is the next one. So please run it on Google Colab, for example, or on your IPython. And whenever you can get the result, please let me know how much time you spent, how much time it shows. Please write the answer for that. I mean, something like this. The answers that you could show is something like this. Oh, I'm sorry. The last person who sent me a message, unfortunately, always Zoom turned it to answer just one person. Okay, this is the code, and this is the answer, for instance, that I got. Stefan. Okay, for this one, I just give bonus to the first 3 just to make it a little bit competitive. Stefan, I remember that you should be in the second class that I have. Stefan, Peter already have 2, and now it is 3. And the next one, Diego. And Diego, welcome to the League of Bonus Mark people. Eric. Okay, Sabrine. Let me just give those that they just joined. Sabrine. Okay, thank you. Lovely. Okay, how about this one? After seeing this, this is for a block of code that we have, but sometimes it says, as you see here, it's not the best one. For instance, we do we generate a random list and we sort it. So sorting the first time is more time consuming compared to the sorting an already sorted list. So it talks about this one, and it talks that time, person time, is more reasonable choice for such things. And it says that person time it does some clever thing under the hood to prevent a system call from interfering with the timing. For example, the garbage collection kind of thing, as two of our friends already beautifully mentioned and talked about. And the thing is, we have another concept that is named prun. And for prun, sometimes you want to see, okay, each function. So everybody, let me just copy this one for you. And where did I place that? There we go. So would you please confirm that you can run this code, please? Illegal target for annotation. Okay, you can use okay, one of it's to analyze the performance, particularly based on the functions. Enes, bravo. But what I want you to know is, for this one, first, you have to load line profiler, right? For this one, you should have line profiler. First, you need to call the library line profiler, and then for prun, did I use prun or what? Prun, yeah. So I want you to give me the lovely Anand. Yes. What is the benefit of this one? Can anybody tell me, please? Already Anand said, but I want a little bit more elaboration on that. Understand which functions are NS beautiful. NS, you already got 2. Didn't I tell you that you are notorious in getting lots of bonus marks? Bravo. Yeah. Okay. Everybody, can I have your attention, please? Look at this one. Look at this one. You say that percent load line profiler, and after that you can just run yeah, you can just have prun and then line profiler as well for the next one that I'm going to tell. For this one, it shows based on the, if it doesn't, it's easy to install it over there. I don't remember that I checked because I installed it while ago. So everything works at my system. So don't consider my system as a kind of a standard thing. Right? Lovely, Peter. That's exactly what I wanted to tell in a sec. Yeah. We need to install, as you see here, pip install line profiler. if you want to have that. And it's going to, guys, if you see a question, we already covered all the test, all the quiz questions. So if you want to have line by line profiling with one command, and that command is what? lprun, line by line prun. Okay, let me just ask you, and please type the answer. For line by line profiling, which command should we use to make sure that everybody's going to get the answer for correct answer for that quiz, for that question, if you see it somewhere? Lovely. Excellent. Lovely class. Merci. Okay, Tony and Marco joined to the league, and Rachel. So Tony, Marco, and Rachel. Awesome. Exactly. And everybody, please try to install this. If it doesn't work, please try Conda, install-c Anaconda line profiler. So whenever, yep. Excellent. So if everything works at your end and you could install, it takes just a few seconds. And Algor, you already have lots of bonus marks, man. Yeah. So would you please just try this? Well, I just want to appreciate at least with one bonus those who gave answer. Yeah. Rodrigo, for example, I've missed. Rodrigo. Okay. Liam Shada. Okay, so guys, would you please just give me the feedback? If you could install, you should see something similar to if you use older version, you should see, I'm sorry. You should see, here it is. If you use a newer version, you should see something like this. Same here. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And after you say that, you should, whenever you say, this is the command, if you run this, I'm gonna just copy and paste that command for you. Did I copy it here? No. So let's go to the book. And we already have some of a list. So it should work for you. And now you can see, beautiful. Yeah, lovely. Peter, your laptop is super fast. So as you see here, it's going to break it down to line by line. And you see, for instance, 80% of the time is consumed in, it should be 90%. In here, 90-some%. And after that, sum is the second. And yeah, this is how it works. Let me just see. Wow, lovely. It shows that it still works awesome compared to mine. It's super fast. So this is going to break it down. Sometimes you don't like to, I mean, just say, hey, that function is time consuming part of your program. Okay, which line of that function? So the good thing about line profiler is it's going to break it down and you can exactly see which part is going to take more time. And it says that every unit that you have here, you have to multiply it by 1 as 10 times to the power of -7 seconds. So it's pretty small for Peter. If you look at the, that is why I said that his laptop is super fast, because the time frame for him, the timer unit is 10 to the power of -9, which is wow. Indeed, indeed. In other words, RISC processors like reduce instructions. You're absolutely right. Okay, so time is one of our enemies. I don't remember. Hopefully you didn't see what I shared in a second ago. What is the equivalent thing for memory? Guys, I'm sorry. We are gonna finish at 5, sharp 5, I promise. What is the equivalent thing that we have for memory? True, Enes. What do we have for memory? That no, I mean, maybe my question was not for time. We said time, time it, percent, and so on. So if we want to check, what about the amount of memory that we have spent, or to do something like profiler, but instead of time profiler, we have memory profiler. Lovely. Diego said the answer. So look at this one. For profiling memory, we use Memit. And if you check, it says that Memit is similar to Timeit. So you can just simply see the overall memory, which is consumed by your whatchamacallit, your procedure or your code. But what if you want to? This is something that you have to install. So please, everybody, and it takes no time. It's super fast. Let me just share the good thing is, yeah, for tomorrow, all the systems are going to be ready then for the rest of the things. If you say pip install memory profiler, then if you get to the next part, it's going to take no time. Yeah. Whenever you could finish installing, please type 3. Lovely. Excellent. Excellent. And the thing is, if you see, guys, to access, that is something that I want to show you. If you do not mention load memory profiler, it's going to say that Memit could not find, right? So to the interest of time, I didn't want to just play the game that, hey guys, why it doesn't work? And you just search a little bit. You say that, Reza, before that, you have to use this command. First, we have to load the general library, then we can start using. And yeah, that's the next one. So would you please just run these 2 lines? And as a result, let's just copy the result that you get here. For instance, this is mine. Would you please type your result, how much memory it used? Sabrine. Peter, I'm the first person who got the first 1%, the winner, Huawei. Awesome. Lovely. Okay, so let's go to the last part. The last part that you want to use for the block of code, unfortunately, we do not have something that goes directly. We need to pass the file that contains that procedure and method. The next command that I copy for you is going to make a file in your current directory. So please just run that code and you should get overwriting mprun_demo. That's the name of a file that we have in Python, that we create in Python there. If you get a successful result, please type 1. You are awesome, guys. Anand, 0 or 1? Ronan, thank you. Alvaro. Raul. Okay, merci. Look at this one. For this one, now if you say from the file that you already created, import son of list and calculate this one, MP1. Look what is the result. It's going to tell you that, hey, for every single line, this amount of memory is used. So now you can have similar thing for that. Does that make sense? So this is going to break the code into different lines, and you can just clearly understand which line consumes more memory or what. Okay. Do you see the same kind of similar output? If yes, this time please give me a high five, type 5. Lovely. Yiting Wang. Okay. It takes time. Yeah, it's kind of time consuming. There's just one thing that I want to tell you, and the rest of the things, guys, if you just this is what you see, the result that I got previously and the result that I just showed you. But I want to take this chance to explain just one thing that you might see as a kind of not very clear, guys. You know that when we say for in binary is nothing but, for instance, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 1, 0, 0, right? This is for. So what if I shift this 1 towards right 2 times? So it is going to be something like this: 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 1. Does that make sense? So this thing that you saw in one of the examples, that it used J and I and said start with I from 1 to 5. It's just, I mean, just shifting it from the place that it has towards. And if you say the other way, look at this one. In that case, let me just copy this. It's going to say, hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the result would be 0, 1, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 0. So, and this one is going to give you 64. This is the only thing that you don't need actually to know, but I received from one of our team members in the previous week that said, Reza, what is the code in that place min? And I thought that it's not a bad idea to share that with you guys, and hopefully you have no concern or question now about the which line it was. I'm going to just find it, but because I promised, there we go, guys. Do you see that it says that J shift towards right? So it's going to be like 4, then it goes to 1. You know what I'm saying? So for I. So if everything is fine and everything is clear, please type 1. And I'm going to tell you the last thing. Lovely. Merci. You're awesome. By saying that you're ready to go, please just read the content. We covered everything. I would be thankful if you please go to the assessment and to the quiz and see if quiz number 2 is open for you. If it is open, please give me the last high five. Lovely, lovely. Guys, we have covered everything, but you have time till tomorrow night before 12 midnight, means 11:59 to finish it. Thank you very much, and sorry to keep you till the last minute. Have a wonderful one. See you in the class tomorrow. Ciao. Take care. My pleasure. Have a good one. Bye. Bye.